The second step of this marketing process is market research. And market research is really a kind of a broader thing than you would think. It's collecting and analyzing information about the competitive environment. So it might be about the customers, but it might be about other things as well, like other businesses. So really the first step is to work out what the aims of your research are. What are we trying to do? What are we trying to find out? And then the second step is to choose your research methods. You've got primary methods and secondary methods. Primary methods involve generating new data, so surveys that the business or the business gets the marketing company, surveys that the business generates, interviews that the business does. The advantages of doing this is it's going to fit the business's needs. Obviously, the final report of the marketing company or the business itself, obviously it's going to be exactly what the business wanted to find out. It's also very much up to date, but the problem is it's expensive. So for a small business, primary data is kind of difficult to come about because it's just too expensive. They can do some things, they can do some surveys and interviews and things like that, but it's going to be too expensive for them to do anything really large. That's why they might go for some secondary research methods where you get data that already exists and you just collect it. So government publications, so like the Australian Bureau of Statistics, you can just go online, it's all free, just find out information about average incomes and things like that in different areas, but also trade journals. Trade journals are things that you don't really read trade journals, but these are magazines basically for specific businesses, specific industries. So like the steel industry and mining industry, they've got their own journals about latest things in mining. So you might want to read those things and get information from there. The advantage, obviously, is cheaper. Obviously, it's quicker, and you can get access to data you couldn't get yourself. So if you're a small business, especially, you can't do your own census. Ask everyone in Australia all those questions. So you might be able to get access to data that you couldn't find out yourself. The problem is that it might be inaccurate. It might not be exactly what you wanted to know, and it might be even out of date. So you do need to try and balance the primary and secondary research methods. But you have to make sure if you do get a question about market research, you've got to mention both of those. You've got to mention primary and secondary. But you do also have to remember that the first step is what do we want to find out, the aims of the research. And having those advantages and disadvantages of primary and secondary methods are always going to get you the extra marks.